so Bitcoin could go to $1 million a coin, and it would still only be 2%. And this is the best form of money that mankind has ever seen. So, I don't think people are prepared for how quickly and how high this thing is going to go. And again, that's the book. I'm trying to save people, trying to help people, trying to help the person that just can't seem to get ahead because they're getting, their savings get inflated.
In his exploration of Bitcoin's place in the global financial system, Lawrence Lepard highlights the cryptocurrency's enormous development potential. With a current market value of about $2 trillion, Bitcoin only makes up 0.5% of the $900 trillion in investable assets worldwide. Bitcoin would still only account for roughly 2% of global assets, even if it were to skyrocket to $1 million per coin. This demonstrates the enormous potential for growth, particularly in light of Bitcoin's exceptional monetary qualities. Lepard contends that Bitcoin is the greatest kind of money that humanity has ever encountered and is not just another investment. It provides a strong substitute for the failing currency system, financial sovereignty, and inflation protection. He exhorts people to understand the long-term effects of adopting Bitcoin and to take immediate action to protect their financial future before the current system breaks down. For more information about cryptocurrencies and the digital asset world, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications if you like this kind of content. Additionally, please feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts. Thank you for watching and enjoy the video.
So what really is described, and there are a lot of charts in the book that show this, and probably the best one is actually look at the U.S. federal government interest expense and, the U.S. and the growth of the U.S. federal government debt. And if you can see, if you look at them, what you'll see is just describing them, they're kind of going parabolic. They're going straight up. The U.S. debt is $36 trillion. We're adding $1 trillion every 3 months, and that rate is growing. The U.S. interest expenses are, 400 billion a year. Now we're at 1.2 trillion, and that's going up. And so it's just a kind of it's a continual mathematical compounding of this debt that's going to lead to a day of reckoning, unless somehow, Deus ex machina, we find some magical solution. But, in 2,000 years of recorded history, when debt gets this bad, you get a sovereign debt crisis, the currency collapses, or, in biblical times, it was actually, you had to do a debt jubilee, or else, the whole thing fell apart. So, really, the answer to your questions is just math. And if we go to a monetary system based on a mathematical protocol that's inviolate and immutable and can't be gamed, that will solve the problem. So, wow. It's, there's real symmetry there. $2 trillion of internet market cap, or I'm sorry, Bitcoin market cap, over $900 trillion of total investable assets. That's 0.2%. And, so Bitcoin could go to $1 million a coin, and it would still only be 2%. And this is the best form of money that mankind has ever seen. So, I don't think people are prepared for how quickly and how high this thing is going to go. And again, that's the book. I'm trying to save people, trying to help people, trying to help the person that just can't seem to get ahead because they're getting, their savings get inflated, that this monetary system is broken and that the Bitcoin solution is the correct solution. I think that's, this is clearly a sales pitch and an argument. And it's not a pump and dump sales pitch, because I don't intend to sell my coins for years. I imagine some day when I get old enough that I'm not working, I'll sell a couple percent of my coins every year to pay my bills or whatever I need to do. But hopefully it'll be a very small percent because the value have gone up a lot. But I'd like people to take away the beliefs that, they learned something, that the author was honest and open about, strengths and weaknesses of, himself and the argument, and therefore trustworthy. And then from there, jump into the conclusion that, gosh, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it sounds like his argument's correct. And, I should start buying some coins. That's really what I'd like to have happen. And by the way, maybe they get it right away. And you know what, if we really do want to make this world a better place, end wars, do that, Bitcoin fixes this, right? If we really want to do, and that's one of the chapter names, if we really want to have a situation where Bitcoin fixes this, gosh, I got to give this to my friends. Once you understand this and you realize just how big it is, it's like, I don't know, it's like you discovered fire or the wheel or, the printing press or air flight, or, it's just, the notion of money that doesn't debase over time. We've spent thousands of years, mankind's never had this before. And so, never had it before. Oh, wow, that means things are going to be significantly different. And There's actually part of the book I talk about that, you know, some people say it's a little hyperbolic, but I don't think so. I mean, I think finance will someday be looked at before Bitcoin and after Bitcoin, you know?
Absolutely.
Because it just changes so much, you know what I mean?
Lawrence Lepard warns that Bitcoin would probably be dropped in times of crisis if it were a monetary standard under government control. Even gold-backed currencies aren't really secure, as history demonstrates when countries have frequently suspended the gold standard amid conflicts and economic downturns. In contrast, Bitcoin removes the need to have faith in any centralized authority. People have complete control over their wealth when they possess Bitcoin. According to Lepard, Bitcoin will soon surpass conventional safe haven assets like gold and government bonds as the most valuable store in the world. He understands that widespread acceptance won't occur right away. However, more individuals will turn to Bitcoin as a reliable substitute with every economic crisis and monetary policy failure. Also, a quick reminder, only a small percentage of viewers are subscribed. If you enjoy deep dives into crypto and finance, hit that like button and subscribe. It's free and helps the channel grow. Now let's get back and hear what he has to say.
If you understand Bitcoin, it means you've got a clear, in my opinion, it means you've got a clear thought process and a clear understanding of, you know, what a fair monetary protocol looks like and ought to be. And you don't get to be a Bitcoiner until you've really kind of thought through a lot of the fundamental issues about how, you know, our monetary system operates and how our government operates and how the Federal Reserve operates and so on and so forth. And so if you've studied all of those things and then you've studied Bitcoin and then you conclude that Bitcoin is the solution to the problem, that makes you a Bitcoiner in my view. And, you know, I guess what I've found is anybody who's done that and comes to that opinion, generally speaking, shares a lot of the political and other philosophies that I have. I mean, I suppose there are probably some Bitcoiners who are just like, they're on it for the ride and just for number go up. But I don't know, I haven't met many of those. Most of the people I've met in the Bitcoin space are pretty deep and pretty thoughtful. And, you know, they've gone down, they've done the time to get to where you really believe that this magic internet money is going to be the new mirror of the world, which we all believe. You have to have done the homework, and that's, you have to have read a lot of stuff. You have to have thought it through. You have to understand what the difficulty adjustment is. You have to understand what hash is, and you know, there's no shortcut. And anybody who thinks there is kidding themselves. But once you do that, every layer you peel away, you know, I mean, I started off skeptical. I mean, I was very afraid it was going to blow up. Technically, I mean, I saw DigiCash, I saw eGold, I saw Hashcash, you know, and even Xiaomi and Money. I mean, I saw all and none of them worked. And then, in fact, that's scary. I mean, I was aware of this in 2009. And I immediately thought, oh shit, here's another one. This isn't going to work, you know. And I was wrong. I mean, I wish I'd taken the time to study it and realize why it was going to work. But once it got going a ways, it started, you know, it went from, you know, pennies to $1 and then $1 to 100. I was like, whoa, no, hang on a second. Maybe there's something working here. And of course, but even then, you know, would I put a huge piece of my net worth in it? No, you know, it was still too early, too risky. I mean, I was at an MIT forum in, I think 2014, sat next to a core developer. I said, do you trust this thing? He said, no. He said, every night I go home, we've made some changes to it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Jesus, I hope I didn't croak it. And this is a core developer, right? And I was kind of like, oh, shit. I mean, yeah, I mean, I had some coins, you know, handfuls, but, you know, I can't put big money in this thing because it's still technically risky. But you know, you know, TikTok next block, 16 years, a lot of that risk has gone away.
Lawrence Lepard stresses that before making an investment in Bitcoin, it is crucial to fully comprehend the cryptocurrency. He says there are no short routes. You have to master the technology, complete the assignments, and understand concepts like hashing and difficulty adjustment. Since he had witnessed the failure of other digital currencies such as DigiCash and eGold, Lepard acknowledges that he was first dubious. He hesitated to make a significant investment because of the technical dangers, even as Bitcoin began to appreciate. Nevertheless, Bitcoin demonstrated its endurance throughout time, demonstrating that it was distinct from those before it. Lepard also draws attention to an important aspect of monetary standards. In order to generate money and address pressing issues, governments have historically abandoned gold standards during times of crisis, such as wars or economic downturns. He cautions that if governments take control of a Bitcoin standard, the same thing might occur. Like they did with gold, they might pledge support for Bitcoin, but halt it whenever it suits them. Bitcoin doesn't need to be a standard supported by another currency, and this is where its real potential rests. Bitcoin may be the actual currency. Bitcoin can be transferred in about 10 in minutes in contrast to gold, which is difficult to move and redeem. Bitcoin is essentially distinct from gold due to its efficiency and self-custody feature. According to Lepard, these characteristics could make Bitcoin valuable many times more than gold in the ensuing decades. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications if you thought his viewpoint was helpful so you don't miss any updates. We'd love to know what you think about the future of cryptocurrency markets, so please share your ideas in the comments section. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.